Hello to you too.
You won't believe what happened tonight.
What?
I was driving along Manor Road when suddenly, out of nowhere, a figure appeared in front of my car. I knocked it over.
You knocked someone over?
Yes, that's not all. It had no face.
What do you mean it had no face? How much have you had to drink tonight?
Didn't you hear what I just told you? It had no face, just an expanse of skin. No eyes, no nose, no mouth, nothing. Just an expanse of skin where its face should be.
You imagined it.
I imagined it. Is that all you've got to say? I knocked something over, and all you can say is, I imagined it.
I'm sorry. Are you sure?
Yes.
Did you phone the police?
No, there was no body.
You knocked someone over, and yet there was no body?
I got out of the car, and I looked around, but there was no one lying in the street.
You imagined it.
For the first time in your life, I want you to believe what I am telling you.
I do.
I'm calling the police.
What are you going to tell them? You've knocked something over without a face. You've got out of the car and there's no body, nothing in the road, with or without a face. There's no evidence that you hit anyone. You said so yourself.
I have to report it. The body could have been thrown further than I thought. Police, please. If I don't report it and the body is found, and they trace it back to me... Yes, hello, I'd like to report an accident.
Mr. Kendall, all I'm trying to do is to make sense of what you've told me.
Have you spoken to the people whose houses back onto Manor Road?
We have, but nobody recalls hearing or seeing anything untoward tonight. Let me see if I've written this down correctly. You said you were driving along Manor Road when suddenly a figure stepped out in the path of your car. You hit it, and as it passed over the car, you saw that it didn't have a face. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I even hit it. I'm not sure that I even hit anything.
Mr. Kendall, either you hit something or you didn't. Which is it?
All I know is something stepped out in front of my car. I hit it. When I got out to have a look, there was nothing in the road.
I hope you're not wasting my time, Mr. Kendall.
I'm not. I hit somebody. Check the hospitals, the woods. He can't be hard to find.
Why didn't you check the woods, Mr. Kendall?
I told you. I got out of the car and searched along the road. There was nothing to see.
Very well. That'll be all for now, Mr. Kendall. I will be in touch.
Inspector?
Good afternoon. I just wanted to clarify a few points.
I got the impression last night that you didn't believe me.
Oh, on the contrary, we're following up a number of lines of inquiries. We found a jacket near the scene of the accident. And... oh, one moment. And with the fibres seen to crime are retrieving from your vehicle at the moment, I'm sure we'll get a match.
My car? There aren't any marks on it. I checked this morning.
Did you? Did you, Mr. Kendall?
Yes, I did. What's going on?
There's enough evidence on your car to convict you of death by dangerous driving and leaving the scene of an accident.
What's going on?
David and I are having an affair.
Having an affair? Since when?
About a month now. After David came to see me when my car was stolen.
While the case was still open, I had a valid reason to be here. But once we caught the suspect, well, it wasn't so easy then.
Grabbing time in between Dave's shifts and your work wasn't enough, so we had to come up with means of getting you out of the way.
The obvious thing was to frame you for something, but for what? Then it came to us.
Hit us, really.
Yes, hit us. You see, the man you hit the other night, well, that wasn't his first time. We ran into him on Tuesday.
Literally ran into him.
And that's where the idea of getting rid of you came from. You see, we knew you'd be held up in town with the carnival, so that gave us time to take the body to Manor Road and stage the accident.
And with the help of a bottle of beer laced with rohypnol.
How did you... the body... I don't understand.
After an anonymous tip-off, my colleagues will have found the body. And with the evidence on your car, well, it shouldn't be hard to get a conviction.
Why? You can't prove any of this.
Mr. Kendall, I'm arresting you on the charge of death by dangerous driving and leaving the scene of an accident. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something that you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand, Mr. Kendall? Mr. Kendall? Mr. Kendall?
Mr. Kendall! Mr. Kendall! Mr. Kendall!
Peterson and Jones have been paid off. I reminded them of their silence.
£100,000 each should remind them of that, don't you think?
What now?
We keep going. Break him down bit by bit until there's nothing left of him.
He thinks his wife and her lover killed a man and are framing him for it. What more can we do to him?
Sensory overload combined with sleep deprivation. And you have an effective and proven method of deprogramming a person's mind.
Deprogramming was outlawed years ago. Our own government were among the chief signatories.
If you're uncomfortable with this, Davis, we can always find you another assignment.
Do we really need to rip their minds apart?
It's the only way.
And how many successes have you had? 2 out of 10 subjects. That's not a high success rate, is it?
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
Give over. Spare me the fucking idioms. Fuck's sake.
Increase the dosage.